Remkus, welcome.
Thank you.
I would really love you to introduce yourself and your overall functionality of WordCamp Europe 2019.
Yeah, my name is Remkus de Vries. I work at Yoast as manager of partnerships, and I am the team lead for the volunteers for WordCamp Europe 2019, and I'm one of the co-founders of WordCamp Europe.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
How has it been so far? Yesterday was a contributors day.
Yep.
Today the official public visitors.
Yep, the event day was the first one is today.
Uh-huh.
Yep. It's been it was a busy morning because we sold more than 3,000 tickets.
Right.
So the expectancy was a lot of people were going to show up. As I'm team leads of the volunteers, one of the departments that falls under that is the registration desk.
Right.
So that was like I said, a lot of people to process in a very short amount of time. But we managed just fine. And I think currently we have 2,600 people who registered today as actively showing up. So we expect a few more for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's going good. It's going good.
Obviously, Friday versus Saturday, I think Saturday's turnaround would be much more higher than what
we
Friday
expect so,
would be,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did say that you're a team lead of all the volunteers.
Yeah.
Share us the responsibilities from the beginning. Like, give us an insight of the process that it takes from your internal to an external capabilities.
So I think for the most part, it's a long preparation of making sure that the group of people that want to contribute to the happening of such an event, right. The volunteers, that you have proper profiles. You know what type of people you're looking for. You ideally find a group of people that long before the event actually happens are sort of in your systems. They find ways to communicate to each other, so they have a little bit of an understanding of what is expected of them and how and in which way they can actually contribute to the event. So that's the main focus for the last couple of months. So getting information from all the different teams, like what type of volunteers do you need, what should their skill set be, and it ranges from somebody helping out, opening the doors and closing the doors, just to keep the rooms themselves as quiet as possible, to more complicated things. There's a very wide array of help needed, and we have roughly 170 volunteers this year. So
wow,
it's a big team.
It is. So with your experience that has started a long back,
yeah.
And how would you categorize today's function from a volunteering team? Is there any discrepancies in terms of your expectations from them?
I would say so. As an event grows,
right.
and the first one was in 2013 in Leiden, the Netherlands, and we had roughly 800 people there.
Right.
We're at least 3 times as big now.
Exactly.
And as the crowd grows, so does the level of professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
The expectancy for the crowd goes up. Our own expectancies go up.
Absolutely.
So we want to make the event as smooth and as pleasurable as possible.
Right.
The educational level high, but also the fun level high.
Right.
And ideally, you find a group of people, volunteers in this case, but obviously the speakers, the organization team itself, everybody is part of this equation. But speaking specifically for the volunteers, you want to find a team that is as invisible as possible when they need to be invisible, and as visible when you want them visible.
Right.
And that's an interesting mix. As the event grows,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of finding out.
Right.
What are the best ways of doing this?
You satisfied with their kind of like give out as a volunteer?
Oh, absolutely, very much. Yeah. We have a great team.
Right.
Yeah.
Know that. Since this morning I landed, I've been helped by every volunteers wearing a pink T-shirt.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pink though.
And that's a very, very beautiful one. But the level of service-oriented staff and their dedication was amazing.
Yeah, so that's thank you very much. That's a big compliment for the team. It's one of those things that makes it more of a professional event. I mean, they're all volunteers. Nobody's being paid.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's, you know, how do you quantify if a volunteer is doing their job well? I think you just described it. The level of service is basically what is measurable.
Right.
If we see somebody in the hallways looking lost, we approach them.
Right.
We go, are you lost? Do you need anything? Can we help you?
Exactly.
That's a different way of just, here's your ticket and have fun.
Right.
We're doing a little more than that.
So share us the tips. How do you motivate these volunteers? These 160, 170 number is a huge number of volunteers that has been mobilized.
Yeah.
What is the tip, and how do you make them so motivated to provide that excellence in terms of service?
I actually don't.
What is the key factor there?
So we have looked at, we had a bunch of applications when we had the call for volunteers.
Right.
So from the pool of people that we have gathered from that first call of volunteers, we've made a selection. And in this particular case, we looked at finding people that we knew, sort of.
Right.
And I mean, there's plenty of new people here. But we tried to make the base of the group as familiar with the WordPress project / the events itself.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people who have volunteered at WordCamp anywhere, or even organized them.
Right.
So that helps in understanding what the quality level needs to be. And I didn't need to do any motivation.
Right.
They motivate themselves.
Great.
One of the things we made sure this time around is we wanted to make the shifts as short as possible and as meaningful as possible. So that helps in motivation. So if we can make it a shift, like, you know, either morning or afternoon instead of the entire day, that gives you a little bit more freedom to actually go to talks and do the hallway track and get your swag from the sponsors, whatever you like. But that was one of the goals, and I think that helps in the overall satisfaction.
Nice. So volunteering WordPress events, is that directly considered as giving back to community?
It is, yes.
Would you mind elaborating a little bit of your own insight on
Sure.
that?
Giving back to the community or helping the WordPress project, whichever way you want to coin it, basically comes down to there are various ways to make sure the WordPress project thrives. One of these ways is actually a WordCamp. So what is a WordCamp? WordCamp is nothing more than an event where a lot of enthusiastic people about the software project and on the whole scale. It's not just the code, it's also the translation, it's also the documentation, the support, everything that comes with it. Just being there fortifies the whole, we are part of a community. And the more you feel part of a system, of a group of people, the more invested you are. And that in itself is exactly what the goal is, because we help each other to become better ourselves, but also the actual events will become better because we're all invested in. We all want to enjoy it ourselves.
True. As being a lead of volunteers over here, what would you like to suggest the new volunteering people or people that is coming into a WordCamp community as a kind of like, your own insight, or let's say a giveaway for them, or motivational ways for them to do as a volunteer?
So why should they become a volunteer if they have not considered it before, for instance? Well, part of that is my previous answer, in the sense that as you volunteer, you see a different side of the project.
Right.
But mostly because in that capacity, you learn a lot about the actual project.
Right.
Because all the topics that are existing within the project, so from the translations to the documentation to the support to the accessibility to the whole array of how can we make this software better, because that's what it is. As you volunteer, you see that more clearly. You get to talk to people who share the same passion.
Right.
And one of the things about when you are, interacting with people that share the same passion is you come up with ideas for yourself, for the project, for however you're communicating. It basically makes your entire interaction with the software also better.
Nice.
And one of the things I say very frequently when I entered the WordPress project, the community, and this was back in 2006, I just came for the software, but ultimately I came home with friends and family.
Very nice.
So that's probably the best thing best advice I can give. You don't know what you're getting until you have it.
You have it, right. That's very true. All right, everyone. That was Remkus as a team lead for all the volunteers here in WordCamp Europe 2019, and that's a massive turnaround over here. Everything was fantastic. Any last words or any kind of things that you want to say before we are done? And also, I'm gonna hand you over a personalized gift from DevotePress. Our team is happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Any last words? Wow, that sounds very definitive. Last words.
That's a very negative word,
yeah,
actually.
I know.
No, some good words. Words of wisdom. Let's put it that way.
Words of wisdom. Wow, that's no pressure right there. Well, if you haven't ever visited WordCamp before, do consider going. You don't have to be an outgoing person. You don't have to socialize at all. You can just go and enjoy on your own. Heck, even wear your headphones if you want to.
Right.
But if you do go, there's a lot of fun to be had. There's a lot to be learned, and there's a lot of kinship you can find. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a wonderful experience for everybody.
Perfect. That is Remkus.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to subscribe, like and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video.